Am I the a-hole for bringing an uninvited guest to a destination wedding? I-26F was invited to a wedding within my state, but far enough that to attend I'd have to sleep over at a hotel for at least 2 nights if I arrived the night before, as it was planned to be a pretty much all-day affair. I was very flattered to be invited, as I didn't think I was that close to the couple. It was a fairly small wedding, 60 guests, including the bridal party. Obviously, as it was very small and I was possibly a second-round invitee, I didn't get a +1. Fine with me? I ultimately decided to go. When I went to book the hotel room for my stay, I found they only had large rooms available, multiple beds, or king beds, AITA, as it's a popular wedding destination and is a bit fancy. So I thought, why not invite my boyfriend 26M? That way we could trade off on the long drive there and back and share the big room I would have to pay for anyways. The idea was that night we arrived, we could get dinner together somewhere new and have a nice breakfast before heading back home. While I was at the wedding events, he could just hang out in the hotel room or the pool or whatever. The wedding went great, but then after it wrapped up, the maid of honor, who I'm closer to than the bride, was chatting with me as I walked back to my room, and I knocked on the door instead of digging through my bag for the key card. When my boyfriend opened the door for me, the mo just greeted him and walked off. I didn't think it was a big deal or anything. A few days later, the mo reached out and said it was awkward and uncomfortable for me to have invited him to the hotel, and it made everyone feel bad and weird that he was there waiting for the wedding to end when they hadn't invited him. We were both a bit surprised. No one even knew he was there because it didn't come up at all during the wedding. It definitely wasn't a secret, and honestly, we wouldn't have thought it was a big deal if people did know. And he had only met the bride and groom like 6 times and had 0 issues with not being invited to such an intimate wedding. Also, if it matters, I was far from the only guest who didn't get a +1, and I never asked to be given a +1 for him. I have no clue if the mo told the bride and if the bride also thinks this was inappropriate. If she hasn't, I really don't want to contact her during her honeymoon to start drama.